Hey everyone, welcome back to Furniture Flipping Teacher. I'm Neiman.
I'm Lauren.
Today, we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. Before we get into today's juiciness of a video, let's take some time out to give thanks to our sponsor, Ritual.
Even with a perfect diet, it can still be a little bit tricky to get every single key ingredient on a daily basis, which is why I'm super excited to talk to you guys about Ritual. Ritual helps women fill in the gaps in their diet, but not only women, they've also got plenty of options for men too. It comes in 2 easy to take capsules and they provide 9 high quality nutrients with no shady additives, fillers, or colorants, so you know exactly what is going into your body. One of my favorite parts is that they're also transparent about their packaging and materials, and that they use 100% recycled materials. And you guys know how much I love recycling things, especially furniture.
We all know that better health doesn't happen overnight.
And Ritual is giving us 10% off, giving you guys 10% off of your first 3 months so that you can start filling in the gaps in your diet.
You can find our code and the website link to go get your Ritual down in the description below.
Thanks to Ritual for sponsoring this video. And thank you guys for watching this section of the video. It truly helps us continue to create this amazing content for you on a weekly basis.
As the title suggests of this video, we get a lot of questions about how to go full-time and how to do what we are doing. So we thought to start 2022 off, let's just get down to business and let's talk about how we were able to take this hobby of ours, of
Lauren's. It started out as just me.
And how can we take that and turn it into a business like we have? Now, I think the first question I have for you, Miss Lauren, is what kind of work is involved in doing this full time, and what does your schedule look like?
When I first began, like we said, this was just a hobby. So when I was teaching, I was just constantly, whenever I wasn't at school, I was constantly finding pieces of furniture on Facebook Marketplace, going thrifting, or obviously flipping the furniture itself. But now, as we've transitioned into doing this full time, those things now take up the majority of my day and our days. So different things like searching Facebook Marketplace, going thrifting, as well as flipping the actual pieces of furniture, those are what take up the majority of our days. I think that there's maybe 2 types of people out there. Maybe there's that person that seriously only wants to do furniture related things for a living or full time without the content area. And I think that, you know, that's doable, but it's going to take a lot of work.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point that you make, and I want to just stay focused on the actual furniture flipping side of it. Let's keep content out, even though in one of our further points, it'll come back to light as to why content is important. I wanted to also say that you were working on weekends. You, like you said, all your free time outside of school when you were schooling was dedicated to this. So this isn't for the faint of heart. And like Lauren said, if you're wanting to do it full time in that intense of a capacity, you have to, I know we might with our Instagram and with YouTube, you see 20-minute videos, 30-minute videos, but there are hours literally that go into the entire process from acquisition to getting and selling and delivering the piece of furniture. So it's not easy by any means. And I know maybe sometimes that can be, you know, pushed off by us. We make it seem like that, but listen to us now. It is not easy. It's fun and it's rewarding, but it takes a lot of work.
Right. And I think that one very important thing is that I would never just suggest that you quit your 9-to-5 job immediately and go straight into furniture flipping full time. Start as just a little side hustle. See if you're willing to put in that time after work and on the weekends and different things like that. Any moment of time that you have, dedicate it toward furniture and see how you feel about that. Do you want to do this full time? Can you see yourself in this capacity with furniture? Because truly, like Neiman said, it's not just a 20-minute process to flip an entire piece of furniture. Some pieces might be like that. You might get lucky and find a $20 piece on the side of the road or at a thrift store, and it literally needs nothing. That's happened a few times.
But don't bank on it.
Right, but that is basically 1 in thousands of chances that that is gonna happen. It takes work and it takes time, most of all.
Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps.
I feel like we're kind of already like turning you away. Don't get turned away, but we just want you to know that the bottom line is that if you wanna take the time and do this full time for yourself, that it's going to take hard work. So at the very beginning of my furniture flipping journey, before we even thought about producing content on YouTube or Instagram or anything like that, I was producing 5 pieces a week. And again, this was just a supplement to my income because I was teaching, but the volume of furniture that I was pumping out and those margins that I was getting truly allowed me to step back and really evaluate what I was able to make. But I was working 24/7 on that furniture stuff at the very beginning. And so once we got to really see that this can be a full-time thing, but it's going to take a lot of work, we decided to also figure out how we can basically work smarter, not harder.
And by thinking about how we could work smarter, not harder, we decided that creating a YouTube channel and documenting that, knowing that YouTube does pay people to post on their platform and to have videos up, that we could double dip, we could still flip the furniture, but we can just film the process and document that process and make more money doing that off of just that one piece. And I think that was just a big light bulb that went off in our head, like, wow, if transitioning from your teaching job is something that you wanted to do, because at first, you know, we didn't know that that was going to happen.
I mean, honestly, we weren't making any money on YouTube for a couple of months there, and so that was something that we knew was going to be a time investment, but I was doing the furniture anyway, so why not also film it, especially when he had the talent.
So then the YouTube ad revenue began. That was our second income stream. And from that income stream, we began to get contacted by brands. We began getting contacted by certain individuals. And before we know it, our income streams started to rise. So just off of these one projects, we were able to create multiple streams of income. Going full time, I think it's super important that you do that you do try to create as many income streams. Essentially, don't put all of your eggs in one basket.
We're not only saying go record all of your flips and put them on YouTube. You know, there's tons of other ways to create multiple income streams. If you are interested in writing, people love to read about how you flipped a piece of furniture. If you're interested in more of the day-to-day things, get on Instagram and just start sharing what you're doing, because Instagram is another platform. It has similar qualities to YouTube, but again, it's more of the right here, right now, what am I doing? And if you're reaching those people, that is when those brands are gonna start recognizing that that is happening and that you are
building a community and trusted, like you said, yeah. Another idea could be, while you're working on certain pieces, you can still be going and finding other pieces and just, instead of doing any work on them, just selling them as they are, but you found them for $20, but you're gonna sell them for $150. You know, that's a quick flip.
Similar to the chairs that we do. I mean, you know, we do a tiny bit of work, but really in the grand scheme of things, making $120 with an hour of work is great money.
And whether it's $20, whether it's $5, or whether it's $100, that was a big thing that we had to get over, and it's a question that we get asked a lot. You guys, money compounds. Anything is better than nothing. So if you're making $5 every hour by selling, you know, little trinkets that you get from Goodwill, that adds up. And when you're full-time, you just want to be able to be a problem solver and solution oriented when it comes to how can I make money and how can I create an income. So number 2 is a huge thing that if you don't create multiple revenue streams, it may be not too sustainable to go full time. But there's tons of ideas out there.
There are seasons of furniture, at least that I've seen, and then talking with a bunch of you guys that you've also seen, where what I'm talking about is that your pieces might not sell immediately. And so if you're banking on making $2,000 or $3,000 a month on furniture, and you've created the pieces and you've banged out 12 pieces in 1 month, but only 2 of them sell, you're not going to be meeting your quota for that month. So that is just another reason that we think that it is very, very important to create multiple income streams.
Divvy up those eggs, baby, divvy up those eggs. I am going to let Laura take this one away because she is the goddess behind what makes this point. And number 3 is you have to have great quality pieces. You have to keep learning to get better and better, because that word of mouth says it all.
Yeah, this is so true. When I first began, I didn't necessarily know what I was doing. I had watched tons of YouTube channels and YouTube videos and things like that. And I just began, because if you haven't began and you're thinking about it, just start now. It's a perfect time. Just get into it. So when I first started, my pieces weren't as quality as they are now, for sure, but they weren't it's not that they were bad quality, but I knew that there was definitely room to grow. And so, the prices definitely reflected that. And it's not that I ever felt like I was giving someone a bad piece, but the reason why I priced my things a little bit lower is, one, because I think I was impatient at the very beginning, and I really wanted that instant gratification. And I just, I would sell pieces for $100 or $120. But then as I built up my inventory, as I built up my products, as I built up my own knowledge and my own experiences, my pieces began to get better and better. And that then allowed me to sell my pieces for a little bit of a higher price each and every time.
Not only that, but then the phone started to ring, then the text messages started to come in, then the Facebook messages came in, where we were sharing that work and people were beginning to spread that work, they were beginning to share it, and then people were receiving it really well, and then came in the commissions. And so I think that is the power of taking your time. With her little impatient self, we had to remind her, like, hey, patience, young grasshopper.
Yeah, and that's coming from me, who now preaches to you guys all the time about patience. I've been where you are, and sometimes I still even struggle with waiting and patience. And I know that this is Neiman's 4th tip, but we're just kind of going into it a little too soon. So we'll save that for just a little bit, but just be patient, you guys. And one more thing that I want to say is that when I began listing my pieces on Marketplace, like he said, the phones started ringing, or Facebook messages started coming in of people saying, hey, my friend got something from you, and I'm really interested in this type of dresser or this type of piece of furniture or whatever it was. And so even people that I had no clue who they even were or remember who bought that dresser, they were then recommending me to other people that they know. People started driving hours to come here and drop their pieces off or to pick up a furniture piece. So the quality is definitely key, because even if someone that buys something from you and it's not very good quality, they're not going to be recommending your services to other people because it's not quality. But if you're like me, you are just very caring about the quality of your pieces of furniture, and that in turn spreads the word of mouth, and then you get more and more customers.
And if you want to do this full time, it is essential that you have that positive turnover, so that way you are creating longevity in your business. And when you're not finding pieces, or when your pieces that you're doing for fun aren't selling, you have that commission work to help support you. So great quality work equals word of mouth. Don't forget it. Don't rush it. Take your time, learn, and understand that it's a journey, you guys. You're not gonna be the best furniture artist overnight. That's why there's YouTube channels like ours. That's why there's an amazing community and creators that surround us that provide so much valuable and great information and content. Learn, learn, learn. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. You can learn and you can do it yourself. That wraps up 3 of the points. So we're on to number 4, which ties into a little bit of what we talked about in number 3. And you guys are gonna love to hear us say it.
Patience, like I said.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, so we already basically hit on patience, but there's so many things that you need to be patient about when it comes to flipping furniture. And just one of them is your growth in the pieces. You know, I just was thinking, I've almost been doing this for 2 whole years now, and just the growth in the very beginning piece. Maybe we can pop a picture up here of my very first piece if we have it, and then my most recent piece, and just the difference in these pieces, just the quality, the finish, the products that I use, and every such thing like that. Those things take patience, because again, it's not going to just happen overnight.
And realize that if you're thinking about doing this full time, the greatest companies, McDonald's, Apple, all of them, they've had to have patience to get to where they are today. And so don't look at this like you want to make a quick buck. Don't look at this like you expect to be famous or you expect to be the next big furniture artist tomorrow. Understand that there's a lot of life to live no matter where you are at. And so understand that this is a journey. This is 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. Think about it in that, because I think that will then influence your decision making, and you'll make better decisions because you see how long you're in it for the long haul. And so I think it's very important that you have patience in your listing of pieces, your journey and your craftsmanship, everything that you can imagine with the whole niche and the whole job description of furniture flipping. Have patience with yourself, and make sure you're kind to yourself too, because it can get very bumpy at times when a project is taking you weeks and you have to kind of like step away from it to come back to it. Sure. Like, just be kind to yourself and know that you're not perfect, nobody is, but that you're striving to be better and better every day.
I think that all 4 of these points tie into each other as well. And so the patience definitely ties into if you want to create the multiple income streams. Like we said, monetizing on YouTube does not happen overnight. It happened fairly quickly for us, but it wasn't something that we expected. And so, you know, rely on the for sure income streams until you've got other for sure income streams. And patience growing your brand, patience getting those word of mouth inquiries and things like that, growing on Instagram or growing wherever you are putting your content, blogging, things like that. It all takes patience.
Boom! So if you want to become a full-time furniture flipper and artist, I think that these tips should really put you in a good place and a good mindset to ask yourself if it's really something that you want to do, and to give you perspective on what to think about when you're making that decision. It has honestly been such a blessing and such a journey, and it has been so rewarding and so fun, and I wouldn't want to be doing anything else right now, and I'm so glad we made the decision to do this full time.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. We love creating content for you guys. I love still painting pieces, and if you guys want to see Neiman paint a piece, you guys need to let us know down in the comments, because we have been teeter-tottering on the idea, and we just think that it would make a pretty fun piece of content.
We hope you guys enjoyed this video. We are planning in 2022 to go more into the business side of things, and we felt that it was something different and something fresh, and it allows us to answer your questions that we are getting constantly in our messages and everything. So we figured, hey, why not?
We want to start bringing you guys more content like this, sort of more on the businessy side, but also just, like he said, answering your questions instead of just responding to that one person. I'm sure that multiple of you have the same questions, and so this is just a great way for us to share what we've been through and our knowledge. We're both 26, and so obviously we have so much to learn, but we have already learned a lot, and so we love sharing this with you guys.
So let us know down in the comments if you found something that helped you in this video, and if you did and you found that value. If you could, go ahead and give us a like, maybe even subscribe if you're feeling real crazy. Well, with that being said,
we'll see you
guys on the flips. Come on.
We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
See you on the flip side.